Hello, friend. Thank you so much for joining me over on YouTube. I just wanted to give you a quick heads up that the training that you're about to see was originally recorded via Facebook Live over on our Facebook page. If you like what you see and would like to learn more, make sure you join us over on Facebook for weekly tips and tricks to help you grow your direct sales business and work smarter, not harder. So you guys, I know we're in the middle of like spring selling season, or actually at the beginning of a spring selling season, but every time there's this, season change, you want to try to figure out like, how do I create, how do I show all my products? How do I get people looking at my products? And I think we're always trying to think about, how do we improve our parties? How do we get people booking parties more easily? How do we get people chatting on our posts and all that fun stuff? So today I want to talk about, how do you create a compelling party theme? So how do you get people so excited to be at your parties that they're commenting, they're engaging, and then they're booking parties of their own, that it's not just, they show up, they buy their stuff and they leave, or it's crickets. Like we don't want any of that. So I really see a lot of direct sellers struggling with this. So I really wanted to dig in and talk about it. So again, I see so many direct sellers struggling with this idea of creating party themes. So we struggle. We're like, I want to show all my products. I don't know which products to pair together. You're confused and you're struggling with it. So, we want to talk about, how do we get people engaged? How do we give some people some value? And then how do we create this rockin' party experience, right? And how do you make a really cool theme to make all that happen, all right? And I'm going to walk you through it. So first of all, let's talk about why should you theme your parties? Because it's really easy to just throw everything in there, right? That's the easiest thing to do. Well, first of all, it's a great booking tool. So when you have a party theme that you're offering in your parties, like I'm sitting on the fence, right? And you come at me with I've got a really cool party theme that answers, your questions or solves your problem. I'm gonna be like, yes, sign me up, right? So a lot of times too, people don't want to see the same thing over and over and over again. So when we can offer a fun party theme, it adds variety to the parties and makes people want to come back and see what you're going to show them. All right. So having various party themes throughout the year is a fun way to do that. And once you create the party theme once, friends, I know it can be a little bit of work to create it, but once you create it once, it's done. You can use it over and over again. Okay. Another thing is, it helps you narrow your product focus. And we're going to dig into this in a little bit, but when you think about sharing new products, okay, the tendency is to want to show them the whole catalog and just like show all the people's, all the things. But the truth is, that is not the best way to get people to shop. Okay. And I'm going to talk about that in a second. But when we have a theme, it helps us narrow down the products that we're going to talk about. And I'll talk about why that's important in a second. It also keeps you from being bored. I don't know, raise your hand. I don't know if you guys have ever felt like you're just kind of bored with your parties. Have you guys ever felt like that? I've had times in my business, or I had times in my business where I was like, oh, if I see that same game, or if I see that same, question or post again, I'm going to claw my eyes out, right? Good. I'm glad you guys agree. So sometimes we just get a little bored. And so it's fun to mix it up with various themes. It lets your creative juices flow. It helps you be more excited, because you don't want to be bored with your business. And if you're bored, guess what? Your guests are going to be bored too. So it keeps you from being bored in your business. So how do we actually do this? Let's walk through this. I've got, let's see, I've got four steps. I've got 4 steps to help you. Okay. So number 1, the first step is really to consider the season. And what I mean by that, themes are easiest to brainstorm when you think about when you'll be using them. So spring cleaning, Black Friday, 12 days of Christmas, Cupid, Valentine's Day, back to school, summer. You see what I'm doing? I'm thinking about what is going on right now in my people's world. Okay. And each season has different highlights. There's different holidays. There's different products that are really fitting that you can, that will be used more, right? I'm not going to make a lot of soups during the summer. I mean, you might like soup, but I'm not going to cook a lot of soups over the summer because it's hot. I'm also not going to use, I see Mandy's on here, I'm not going to use a Christmas planner in the middle of the summer. Like, that just doesn't make any sense. So think about what your people are going to be using right now. What are the themes that you see during this season? So here's some questions to ask yourself. What are my customers most likely thinking about right now? So as we're doing this is March, beginning of March. I know I am thinking about spring cleaning. Okay, that's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about cleaning out our homeschool books. I'm thinking about purging. I'm thinking about spring cleaning. I would love information on that. That is helpful to me. What holidays are they preparing for, and how does my product help them? So holidays we're preparing for, Easter is coming up, St. Patrick's Day, really lots of things in summer, 4th of July, Memorial Day. What are some holidays, not, this isn't a holiday, but what graduations, summer vacations, these are things that people are thinking about right now. And the third thing to ask yourself is, what pain points can I solve for them during this season? So I just mentioned spring cleaning, helping me organize my spring cleaning, helping me camping. Very good, Mandy. Thank you. All of those things are things that people are thinking about right now. Although if you live in Florida, you can pretty much camp year round. I know you people that live up in the frozen north or in other areas, you can't do that, but we can in Florida. So we think about camping all year long. Okay, so the bottom line, if I'm on the fence about hosting a party or even shopping at a party, and it's back to school season, and you tell me you've got a fun back to school party theme where you're going to show everyone how to prep and plan meals for a busy back to school season, I'm in. Like, sign me up, right? And I know my friends would be in too. So that's an easy ask for me as a hostess, and an easy ask for me to get the booking. Or if it's summertime and you sell skincare products, right? And you tell me that you're going to show me and my friends how to make quick work of our summer skincare so it doesn't look like, the makeup is melting off my face, right? I would be like, yes, help me, because over the summer, there's lots of skin issues, right? Or maybe you sell books and it's summertime and you tell me you're going to teach us some, tried and true boredom busters for summer while the kids are out of school. I'm there. See what I mean? So I'm really thinking about, what are my customers thinking about, and how can my product solve that problem? What theme can I create? If you've got a camping theme or a travel theme, how can my products help them with that? Okay. So first thing to do is just kind of noodle through the season. And guys, I did this in my VIP group. If I was struggling to come up with content or a theme, I'd be like, hey, what are you guys thinking about right now? Like, what's top of mind? And they would tell me, because they were a pretty engaged group. So you can ask people. Don't be afraid to ask your customers, hey, what are you thinking about right now? What's your biggest pain point when it comes to cooking, organizing, cleaning? Like, what are you thinking about right now? And then help them solve that problem. Okay. So once we've kind of brainstormed a little bit, step number 2 is to pick a main product. So you want to choose a product, maybe 2, to hone in on. So think back to those questions that we were just talking about, that you just asked yourself. So which product would be most helpful to them to solve those problems? Which product will be most helpful that I sell, will be most helpful to in those circumstances, right? Which products easily fit within the season or upcoming holidays? It could be based on what the product does, what problem it solves, even what color they are. Okay, this is kind of fun. So think about St. Patrick's Day, because we're coming up on that, right? So what about a St. Patrick's Day party, for example? It would be a blast if you grouped your products by color of the rainbow. Like, that would be so much fun. And that's different. It's not the normal way that you would go to a party, right? Love red, here's all the red things. Love blue, here's all the blue things, right? So you could group products. That would even be fun for 4th of July, like red, white, and blue, right? So you could group them in that way. You could also pick something like from your newest catalog. I know we're in the middle of, the beginning of a lot of you launching new spring products. So is there a specific product that you're just like, oh, this is like perfect for summer, or this screams springtime? Focus in on that. It could be something that has transformed your day-to-day. It could be something that you're really loving. It could be lots of different things. And another thing to consider is that this main product, think about, is this the thing that I want it to be a thing that people are really going to want. I don't want to waste my real estate, because when you think about your party posts, those are valuable real estate, each one of them. I don't want to waste my real estate on a product that people don't necessarily want. I want it to be a product that people are going to want so much that they want to book a party to get it at a discount. So another thing you could do, guys, is theme your parties around upcoming host specials. If you get those in advance, right? That's an easy thing that you can do too. Make sure that big product fits, or that main product fits within that, or at least some complementary products. Okay. So number 3, that leads me to number 3, pick 2 or 3 complementary products or collections. And so ask yourself, I've got my main product kind of figured out. I've done my brainstorming. I'm like, okay, I've got kind of a theme in mind. I've got a main product, right? And now I want to pick a couple of complementary products. So I want to ask myself, which products actually go together? So if I'm on my Pampered Chef or Food Epicure people, if I'm making a recipe, what are the things that I pull out? Mandy, if I'm putting together a planner or an organizer, which pieces am I going to pull together? If I'm spring cleaning, which products am I grabbing? What are those kind of cursory, like complementary things that you pull out that you don't think about, right? That's those complementary products. You don't have to overthink this, guys. Like naturally think about my Stampin' Up! Friends. Like if I'm making a card, what are those other supplies that I'm naturally going to pull out? Or what are those other complementary things, okay? So which products do you use together? What naturally goes together? Just pay attention to what you actually do when you use your products. And guys, notice I didn't say now add every other product in the catalog to your party. Okay, pick the main one, now add everything else. That's not what I said. And here's why. I want you guys to listen to this. And I'm going to say it again for the people in the back. You ready? Confused customers don't convert. And that's a hill I will die on. Okay. I know we have to choose our hills carefully, but this is one I will die on. Confused customers do not convert. And what I mean is they don't shop, they don't host, they don't join. Because if you overwhelm people with too many choices, they don't choose anything. Have you guys ever tried to stick a toddler in a candy aisle and say, hey, pick one piece of candy, I'll buy you one thing? Their little heads explode. You can watch it happening, right? Unless they've got one absolute favorite and they don't care about anything else. My kids, when we like to go to Savannah, Georgia, and they have this really big candy store. It is like a nightmare trying to even get my older kids to pick something out. I'm like, you can pick one thing. And they're like in there for the longest time because it's too much. It's too overwhelming. I think I've told this story before that my nail lady, the lady that used to do my nails, she would never even ask me after she'd done my nails for a couple of times. She would not even ask me what color I wanted. She would just grab something. It was always good. But she understood that by the time I got to the nail salon, first of all, don't make me make decisions. Okay. I have 4 kids. I homeschool. I run a business. Like, please don't make me make any more decisions, because decisions, guys, are the hardest things on our brain. It is the most mentally fatiguing thing that we can do. If you don't believe me, if you stay home with kids, think about how your brain is mush. Or if you have a really demanding job where people are asking you questions all the time, think about how you feel after that. It's exhausting, right? Because you're like, I can't think about anything else. My brain is done. So same thing. If you throw so many things at your customers, at your party guests, it's too much. This is why I would also say, don't throw too many themes at your hostesses. I'm going to offer them like 2. So if Dorian says, yeah, I totally want to host a party. Great. I've got this theme or that theme. Which one do you want? Right. That's it. I'm offering this theme or that theme. Which one do you want? So you see what I'm saying? So limit choices. Okay. Bonnie said, I want the outfit on the mannequin. Just give me that. Yes. Don't make me choose. Don't make me make decisions. Okay. So when you're thinking about your products, guys, I want you to limit them. And here's another reason, guys. If you show them the entire catalog, they have no reason to come back to another party. They have no reason to come back to another party. So make sure that you are limiting what you show so you can get them to come back. You can get them to purchase. And it's so funny to me because I would notice that my customers would purchase the things that I showed them because I showed them collections. I showed them things that went together, and they would typically spend a little more because it's a collection. It feels like, oh, I have to have all of these things if I want to do the same thing that she showed me how to do. I don't want just one thing. I want all the things. So when it becomes a cohesive collection, it makes them purchase. It makes them want to see what you're going to show them next, because I only saw a glimpse of the catalog. What else is there? So they want to come back to another party, or they want to host their own. Make sense? Okay. And then step 4 is brainstorm additional tips and tricks. All right. Brainstorm additional tips and tricks. And this is probably another hill. I'm going to die on, guys. Don't just post products in your parties. Okay. Just stop it. Right. A party needs to provide some value for your guests and for your hostesses. Otherwise, they don't want to come back. They need to learn something new, they need to experience something different, and it needs to be fun. So, after you have your theme nailed down along with some products, I want you to think about other tips and tricks or themed games that you can offer to fill in the gaps in between the products. Because remember, we're not putting the whole catalog in there. Another thing about the catalog, guys, couldn't your guests go to the website and view all of the things? Yes, they can. So you don't need to show it to them. That's my last thing I'll say about that. So you don't want to just post products. That's boring and people are going to tune you out. So think about this. If you're focusing on St. Patrick's Day, I'm just going to give you some examples. If you're focusing on St. Patrick's Day, you're doing a St. Patrick's Day theme, and you're focusing on a rainbow of colors, right? So if you're applying it to something food related, you could apply it to eating the rainbow. So share some benefits of eating red foods or eating yellow foods or eating green foods, right? Any color food, it doesn't matter. If you sell skincare and you're focusing on a rainbow of color, share tips on choosing the right color for your skin tone or the right color foundation, the right color for your eyes, the right color for lipstick. Focus on color because that goes with my St. Patrick's Day theme. You guys see what I mean? Play it up. If you're going to go live, put on something green, put on some crazy stuff, make it fun for people, okay? And guys, if you're still struggling with ideas, if you're like, I just can't think of anything, all right, make sure you check your product catalog, okay? You guys all have whole marketing departments that are thinking of all these things for you. They know what people are thinking about. You know why? Because that's their job. So check out your product catalog. I would be willing to bet that your marketing department has already grouped some products together that go well together, or they've put them into some, put them into collections. They put them into some themes that are going to be easy for you to spot. They may even do that on your website. So think about that first. Okay. All right. So you guys, that is it, friends. That's my tips. Let me walk back through the process. We're going to, first of all, consider the season, ask ourselves lots of questions. What are my people thinking about? Pick a main product. So pick one that you really want to focus in on and hone in on. Pick some complementary products, depending on how long your party is or short it is. You may want to pick more or less. Okay. And then think about additional tips and tricks. Okay. And let me also say, guys, I've been talking about this in our membership a little bit. You want to repurpose. So if you're doing a St. Patrick's Day party, couldn't you repurpose those posts in your VIP group, especially if you're offering tips and tricks and fun St. Patrick's Day products? People in your VIP group that aren't at a party, they're going to want to see it too. Okay. So don't just think, oh, I have to think about all of these theme parties, and have to create all this stuff. And then I have to go back and create content for Instagram and I have to go create content for Facebook and all these other things. No, you don't. You don't. All right, guys, have a fabulous rest of your day and the rest of your week, and I will see you next week. Bye, guys.